You ever have one of those days where you're just plain tired, exhausted, worn the bloody hell out? Well, yesterday was one of those days because after we did our special, I went to dinner with my wife and my family, came back, did the fever game last night, had trouble finding it, but doggone it, I delivered the call, and I'm so happy about that.
Y'all had one heck of a service. I'm so mad I missed second half.
You may get a chance to see it.
I watched it. I just wanted to be there.
I know. On your mark, get set, let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Nope, didn't work. I'm still tired.
Nope.
Good morning and welcome to the tripped up Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. And that
tripped up left-handed kicker
Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. A Pizzle, the first one to break the chat open. Glad to have you. And our first hour is powered by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. I'm going to try to put the setup here to see how it looks. But it's scheduled release day today.
Yes, it is.
The NFL releases the schedule today.
Isn't that
They've
late?
already leaked the international schedule, and 2 games of the Thanksgiving schedule have now been released.
The Thanksgiving schedule has been released? Okay.
2 of the 3 games have been released.
Where are the Cowboys and Redskins playing this time?
And the leadoff game, can't talk today. The leadoff game for Thanksgiving
is
Lions and Bears. Oh my.
Bears will win. Unfortunately, there is one thing I know is that the Lions have a Thanksgiving curse. They can have the best team out there and they'll still lose.
Not after what happened 2 years ago when the Bears had a timeout and didn't use it. Let me tell you all this story. 2 years ago on Thanksgiving, wife and I went to the in-laws, watched the Bears and the Lions. Bears had a timeout to use. We're all screaming at the television. Now, mind you, none of us have a horse in the fight. Okay, have a dog in the fight, but we're all screaming at the Bears. Use your timeout.
Right.
They didn't use it.
He's literally standing there. Yes.
Pizzle says one of my favorite days, travel planning day. Pizzle, please make it to Indianapolis. I don't care if there's a game going on or not. I want to shake your hand and give you a hug in person, brother. Clark Goodlow is with us. Says, boom dia, Snowman. Thank you for that. If you all like what you see and what you hear, then consider making a donation to the cause via Cash App, $Tallman Dr. K50, or via GoFundMe. Look up /Snowman's Road to Recovery. I've been there already. When did you come? When did you come here? Did I miss it? Well, I may have to come down there then. Yeah, we may have to come down there to meet you. And no, we're not doing the bucket challenge.
2024.
24. Okay, 2024. Well, I wasn't allowed to travel at the time. We do know that the 49ers and the Cowboys are going to play, this time in Dallas.
So we're playing on Thanksgiving?
No. Hell no. The Cowboys play, I think the Cowboys play the Eagles on Thanksgiving.
Oh, God. Okay. It's usually Cowboys and
Redskins.
Yeah. The football team, the Redskins.
It's usually Cowboys and Redskins on Thanksgiving.
Yes. Which is why I call it Cowboys.
Yeah.
But we get
first Thanksgiving game that Jody and I watched together were Cowboys and Redskins.
That might be one of the.
And that was 8 years. I can't believe 8 years has gone by.
Might be one of the biggest tests for Caleb Downs. Is seeing how.
All right, here's the full Thanksgiving schedule.
All right.
Here are all 3 games on the Thanksgiving schedule.
Okay.
1 p.m. Bears at Lions in Detroit. That's on CBS. 4:30 Eagles at Cowboys.
Oof, that's gonna be rough. That's a rough Thanksgiving.
Then at 8:20, Chiefs at Bills in the new house.
Oh, that's ooh. Can Josh Allen get over the hurdle?
Chiefs at Bills in the new house. I was in Indy the same weekend of the Mark Sanchez incident. Oh boy. oh boy.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez is now out of a job. Well, I know one game that's on the 49ers schedule, and we got to go to Australia.
Yes, you do.
To play the Los Angeles Rams.
Like I said, it's going to be the question of who is more dangerous, a funnel web spider or George Kittle?
George Kittle.
Yeah. I could like a funnel web spider, which is one of the most poisonous spiders if y'all ever heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most poisonous spiders, and they're also one of the most aggressive. A funnel web spider would not bite George Kittle, not because he's afraid, just out of pure respect.
Mm-hmm.
just out of pure respect.
A funnel web spider would take a look at George Kittle and bow to him.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, that's George Kittle. I'm a big fan."
Grab a piece of paper and a pen and ask for an autograph and such.
Right? Like people know about jumping spiders. They usually will put like one of their 4 legs up as like a high five, and people who that's what a funnel web spider would do. He would like high five George Kittle.
Like you're George Kittle. I'm not gonna bite you. I'm gonna respect you.
High five.
Yep. First Sunday night game, your Cowboys have to go to the Giants.
Which means Dietz is probably going to be behind enemy lines.
Yep. Dietz is going to be behind enemy lines. I told you all the Niners have to go down under.
It's not going to be the same way. I don't know if it's going to be the same way as it was last time that happened. You got Cam Scatterboo should be coming back. Jackson Dart's gonna have a full year under his belt.
Yes.
And we're gonna see if he can get over the sophomore slump. If he can surpass the sophomore slump, because usually a great rookie
I hope
is
they
a
do.
sophomore slump. Mm-hmm.
I hope they do. Monday Night Football opener, Chiefs and Broncos from Denver.
Chiefs and the Umas do battle.
Yep. Vodka, we drink. In week 2, the Thursday Night Football opener.
And
The Buffalo Bills will host the Detroit Lions at the new Rich Stadium.
I'm gonna say the first ejection of the season goes to Gold Ship. A horse.
Mm-hmm. And then another wrinkle. We have a Thanksgiving Eve game.
Really? So do we still have a Black Friday game too, or are they just switching it?
The whole schedule will be released at 8 p.m. tonight, and I'm tempted to put this headset. I'm tempted to put this headset on for a special
reveal.
Mm-hmm. But the Thanksgiving Eve game, which is on a Wednesday, yes, we have Wednesday Night Football now.
Oh God.
Will be the Green Bay Packers at the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh wow.
Why are we playing NFL football on a Wednesday?
Because the Brown
Why? Why do you? Why? Well, listen.
The Brown Sessions need
Why are
help
we
because their Kang lost again. So on Wednesdays they need some help.
Shut up. I mean, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. But shut up. They're going to be coping for a long time.
Yep. You know what? They sounded like playmaker after LeBron got kicked out. I hate the NBA.
Oh, goodness gracious. You know, and playmaker, well, we're going to talk NBA after the break because Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland is one win away from the Eastern Conference Finals.
I know that this is about basketball and football, but glass.
My pleasure.
The Cavaliers, really?
All they have to do is win game 6 at home.
Oh, boy.
That's all they have to do. We'll talk more about that. We'll let you know our feelings again.
Yep.
Man, quit doing that. I'm trying not to yawn myself.
I'm just stretching right now.
And
I'm in a lot of pain.
I know. I know. I did a couple laps around the house yesterday. I'm in pain. My trainer is my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And she beat me up. No, what she did was she beat me up with accountability and told me to stretch. So I am. We'll take a break. When y'all get back, I'm going to try to get over this head cold. And I'm trying to get over the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers are one win away from the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll break it down and break down a lot more. Snowman in the morning, back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I become a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commanders Gridiron Report. You want your Commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commanders Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central. On the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Cause we take this job so serious.
I'm on Alarm Island. Give me them cocks!
Okay.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the morning.
We are back. Snowman in the morning. And Snowman is already laughing.
Yes, I am. Alarm Island. The design is ready.
Oh boy. The Pistons? Oh, we thought they
I'm
were
gonna wait
okay. Damian Green.
I'm going to wait till Monday to drop the Alarm Island shirt.
Okay.
And I have a feeling its popularity is going to sell it out.
Mr. Damian Green says the Pistons are who we thought
the Pistons are who we thought they were. Frauds. And after last night, I'm inclined to believe it. Cavaliers 117, Pistons 113, and the Pistons led this game by 15. James Harden scored. James Harden didn't disappear. He scored 30 points last night.
Surprising.
It's very surprising.
Wow.
The problem I have with this headline is that it's only 3 games to 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Because until the Cleveland Cavaliers take care of business and close out the number 1 seed, the Pistons are still in it.
They are.
Game Friday in Cleveland.
Tall order field to take the game in the other team's house.
Well, we talked about it before. What's the toughest game to get?
Next one.
The closeout game. The toughest game in a playoff series to get is the closeout game. The Bulls went through that experience twice in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And I still do not trust this Cleveland Cavaliers team. I just don't. Yeah, you scored a big win in Detroit. You've won 3 in a row. Can you make it 4 in a row and deliver the killing blow? That's my question.
Well, we'll see.
Can you deliver? Can you deal? How did Al Michaels put it? Can you deal the final blow?
Can you deliver the knockout blow?
Can you deliver the knockout punch? And I'm going to say no. Jared Allen at 16. Eric Mobley had 19. James Harden at 30. Donovan Mitchell at 21. Max Strus off the bench with 20. Cade Cunningham
not there at all.
God bless Cade Cunningham. He had 39 last night.
That means
he got no other help. He had 39 last night.
And no one else showed up.
Tobias Harris at 13. Jalen Duren only had 9, and I say only because that's one of your other scores you depend on. Asur Thompson had 6. Jenkins had 19, and that's the starters. But you got nothing. Paul Reed had 10 off the bench. I'm baffled at this. Cade Cunningham had 39 and got no help from Jalen Duren and no help from Asur Thompson. Asur Thompson, let me point this out. Asur Thompson played 41 minutes. He took 6 shots.
What?
Let me say that again. Asur Thompson played 41 minutes. He took only 6 shots.
Did he go around getting rebounds or blocks? Or
He had 7 rebounds. He had 5 assists. He was 0 for 1 from distance, but he had 6 points. 6. And he took 6 shots. I am baffled at some of the numbers that I'm reading here. I am totally baffled at some of the numbers I'm reading here. Cade Cunningham was 13 of 27, 6 of 10 from distance. Tobias Harris had 13 points, but he was 6 of 19.
That's upsetting.
Jalen Duren, their center, took 5 shots. 5. Let me repeat that. Their starting center, Jalen Duren, took 5 whole shots. 5. What?
Entire shots.
And the Pistons went deeper off their bench than Cleveland did. Cleveland only played 4 players off the bench. But when you get 20 points from Max Strus, you stick with what works.
You don't need to.
How do you lose if you're the number 1 seed in a 2-2 series? Well, you know what? It happened to the Knicks in 1993. It happened. I liken this, although it was one level higher, it was the Eastern Conference Finals. I liken this to the Knicks and Bulls in 1993, where the Knicks got out 2-0. The Bulls evened the series at 2. Game 5 was in Madison Square Garden, and the Bulls stole that one. Thank you, Scottie Pippen. And yes, I'm wearing a blanket because I am cold because I take blood thinners.
That's fine.
And the Bulls stole Game 5 and then closed it out at home in Chicago. So here's my question again for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Can you deal the knockout punch? Can you do what you did in 2007 and 2016 and 2015, 16, 17, and 18? Can you deliver the final punch? Because you got a Knicks team that's waiting to tear you to pieces in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it pains me to say this aloud, the Knicks are not a team to play with.
No.
The Knicks are not a team to mess with. As long as they play together and as long as they play team ball like they've been playing, and it pains me to say it because there's one ardent Knicks fan that ain't named Wise El Jefe that's going to be screaming his head off.
Yeah, I know.
The Knicks are nothing to play with. But should the Cavaliers face the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals? Here's my response. No. Just no. And as our late friend would say,
what in the all types of blue hell?
just no. I can't do it. I did it last year with the Knicks because they were playing the Indiana Pacers. And I'm married to a Pacer fan, and I became a Pacer fan. Well, shucks. Let me be real. I've been a Pacer fan since like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Miller, Chuck Person, Rick Smits, all those guys. Vern Fleming. But I can't put my eyes or my ears or my headset in the Eastern Conference Finals if Cleveland is in it. I just can't. And remember, Cleveland got eliminated in 5 games last year by the Indiana Pacers. And the Cavs were the number 1 seed last year. So again, my question is, can the Cleveland Cavaliers deliver the knockout?
Right.
Can they? I liken this to Mortal Kombat.
Can they finish him?
Can they finish them? Because it's right. Because it's right there.
Right.
Cavs are on the left side. Pistons on the right side. Cavs are up 3-2, and now, give me this soundboard here. Now can. I want to say, oh hell no, that they can't.
Right.
But in the immortal words of the legendary Chris Berman, that is why they play the games. That's
you
where is
played
it?
to win the game.
Thank you, Herm Edwards. Can the Cavaliers do this?
Finish him.
Can they deliver a big fat to the number 1 seeded Detroit Pistons and knock them out? Can they go?
Much.
Can they
Finish him.
Or will they have us, as usual, saying,
You're googly moogly.
as there's a Game 7 Sunday in Detroit? You know what? Never mind. Dear Detroit Pistons, you have one job on Friday night. One. You need to satisfy this old head and go into Cleveland and kick their asses. I do not want to call glass on the Eastern Conference Finals if it's the top 2 seeds or 2 of the top 3 seeds. I beg your pardon, because the number 2 seed Celtics got pimp slapped by Philadelphia. How in the hell that happened, I don't know. You got one job, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Asur Thompson. You got to show up in Cleveland for Game 6. You can't, how does Victor put it? You can't play around with your food.
Can I play with your food?
Don't play with Detroit. You're the number 1 seed. Don't play with your food.
Don't do what the Lions do.
Don't do what the Tigers do either. Clark Goodlow says the problem with the Pistons is that they are not ready for the spotlight or the smoke because they, like the 93 Knicks, no basketball IQ, bad offense. Agreed. And it showed up in the second half last night.
Right.
It showed up in the second half last night when they allowed, of all teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers to wipe out a 15-point deficit. Detroit, you had them against the ropes last night.
Right.
And you couldn't knock them out. Which makes me question you and your nerve, JB Bickerstaff.
Right.
This is on you. This is on you for not having your team ready for the spotlight to finish them off. You're the number 1 seed for a reason. You got one job on Friday night, and that's to prove it. Because I do not want to talk Cleveland Cavaliers. I do not want to put, I beg your pardon, Cleveland Cavaliers and Eastern Conference Finals in the same dadgum sentence. Everybody on this Detroit Pistons team that JB Bickerstaff trusts, aside of Cade Cunningham, has got to step up on Friday night. That means Jalen Duren. That means Asur Thompson. That means Tobias Harris. That means Detroit. You know what Detroit needs to do on Friday night for 48 minutes? They need to play defense. You need to hearken back to 1989. You need to hearken back to the bad boy era. Hence.
They had Thomas, Dennis Rodman.
Sorry, I was frozen for a moment. I don't know how that happened. You need to hearken back to the bad boy and back to the 2004 Pistons era and play defense. I had Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Joe Dumars. And I hated Joe Dumars in 1989, but I love him. You got one job, Detroit. One. And that's to go into Cleveland and make Cleveland remember 1989 and whip their asses. Why? Because it always happens to Craig Elo. And this time it needs to happen to James Harden. I had to say the Elo joke.
I swear, if I have to say something about James Harden being a champion, I'm going to break glass an entire year.
I'm close to doing that. I am close to doing that. Speaking of one job, when we come back from a break, we'll go to the Western Conference playoffs. And I have a message for San Antonio. Snowman in the morning, back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete, 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 delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you total football talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
From the hills of Santa Clara to the legacy of the stick, this is where red runs deep and greatness wears gold. 40 plus years of fan, 30 years in the booth, and now it's personal. The 49ers like you've never heard them before. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Hosted by Brian Snow, each week you will get a recap of the game that just happened and the game that will happen. All the stats, facts, and figures, all the fun notes, fan chats, and everything else you could put into 30 minutes. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Cause we take this job so serious.
What are we doing?
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
$44 after the hour, 16 before the second hour. And I just looked up something. I did some research while we were in a commercial break of when the next set of games would be for the NBA playoffs. And both games would be Friday. Detroit, Cleveland leads things off at 7, and I'm talking Eastern time. And San Antonio, Minnesota, 9:30 Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that schedule and I said 3 words. Oh, hell no. Why? Because that's the same those are the same times of my 2 WNBA games, which I'm going to put the headset on for. The Fever hosts the Washington Mystics at 7, and the if I'm correct, Toronto Tempo travel to Los Angeles to take on the Sparks at 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, oh, hell no. But I think I'm going to go ahead and make it a carousel night. Ryan McCarthy's with us. Says, good morning, Snow Crew. No schedule leaks in this chat. Well, shucks. Ryan, you're not going to like me because I kind of opened my mouth and gave you a Thanksgiving Eve game that they released. Back to the NBA. The San Antonio Spurs stand 1 win away from reaching the Western Conference Finals for the first time, let me get this right, since 2017, when they faced the Golden State Warriors.
Wait, what?
It's been that long.
Wow.
Yeah, I say the same thing. I say the same thing. The San Antonio Spurs have a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals on Friday night. And San Antonio, I deliver the same message. You know what? There's a way I can put this because I don't have all the elements in here, unfortunately. And that's my own fault because I'm still trying to rearrange this dadgum truck. San Antonio, sit down. Wondering why I'm putting the Spurs on the hot seat. It's pretty simple. They're playing with their food. This should have been, at most, a 5-game conquest.
Right.
But no. Victor Wembanyama gets a questionable ejection, and Minnesota wins game 4. And remember, and San Antonio had the lead in that game.
Yep.
Wemby comes back, they blow him out in game 5, and I deliver the same message to you, San Antonio Spurs, that I delivered to the Detroit Pistons. You have one job on Friday night. That's to go into the Twin Cities, into the Target Center, and whoop their ass.
Yep.
Don't let up for a second. Because God knows with this series in San Antonio, and I'm a Spurs fan, I do not want to see a
Game 7.
Sunday. Me watch a game 7 on a Sunday?
That's a lie.
No. Spurs, you need to do this.
Finish him.
On Friday. Finish them off. I'll say it again. You need to go into the Twin Cities and whip their asses. I don't care how much of a superstar Ant-Man is. I don't care how much of a defensive presence Rudy Gobert is. You got the best player in the game in Victor Wembanyama. Use him. You got 2 capable running mates with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. Run them out of the building. Don't give them any kind of life whatsoever. Don't even, if you get out to a big lead, build a bigger lead. If you have to come back and take the lead, run away and hide. Run them out the building. Blow them out. Whip their asses and rest for the Western Conference Finals. Don't give Minnesota a shot in this game because the Denver Nuggets 2 years ago played with their food in defense of their NBA World Championship and got smacked. And the Wolves had to come back from 3 games to 1 down to win that series. Learn a lesson from the Denver Nuggets. Don't play with your food. You have them down 3 games to 2. I will say this lesson again because I picked San Antonio at the start of the season to win it all. Don't let me down. Don't let Bill Schoenig down. Because I want to see Bill Schoenig I want to hear Bill Schoenig write a song about the world champion Spurs. You got one job Friday night, San Antonio. And I will say it as many times as I need to say it. You need to go into Minnesota with a steely focus and whip their ass. Wemby, keep your head. Please.
Because you don't need another ejection.
Because the last time you were in there, you got ejected. The Spurs played with their food and lost. That cannot happen again. I will keep saying it. Clark Goodlow says, book it. The Spurs will win. You bet. I hope you're right, Clark Goodlow. Because I am going to take a look at that game on Friday night during the sports carousel. Hint, Hint, Victor.
I know.
We got what we got what we need for the football season.
Oh boy.
But San Antonio, I'm putting you on the hot seat because you have one job on Friday night. And I'm beginning to crack and I'm beginning to laugh, so I better end this. You need to go into Minnesota and whip their asses. Don't let up for a minute. You need to put them down and out for 48 minutes. Don't play with your food. You got one job. Go into the Target Center and blow them to pieces. Blow them out. Don't give them a breath. Because this is a good young Minnesota team. But you're up 3-2. It's you, San Antonio, that the pressure is on to close them out. Minnesota's playing with house money in being in this series in the first place. Don't let them get away in game 1. You let them get away in game 4. Don't do that. You need to do to them in Minnesota what you did to them in Texas the last 2 times. And I'm joking as I say this, but you need to stomp a mud hole in their ass and walk it dry. Now you can get up. Now coaching gang pod says Timberwolves force a game. You know what? You want to see this series go back to Texas? I want them to go into Minnesota and whoop their ass. You know what, Coach? I have an offer for you. Should there be a game 7 on Sunday, I'll put the headset on for it. And you're joining me. And Pizzle, thank you. You know what? I ain't done yet.
No one?
Just for you, A Pizzle. Just for you. You need to go, San Antonio, to Minnesota and do to them in Minnesota what you did to them in Texas 2 times. And that's to stomp a mud hole in their ass and walk it dry. I had to use Pizzle's joke. Now I'm done. Look, Pizzle said it, okay? So I had to use it. Now, before we go to the second hour, those of you that tuned in yesterday at 4 p.m. to a special 2-part City Fifth,
yep,
got to laugh your heads off for about 95 minutes. I cannot play the second part of that because, well, in a digital way, BGS showed up with the mini.
I ain't got no time for this bullshit.
The old Texas 2-step. Pizzle says, you do me much honor. Pizzle, I had to do it. I had to do it. Coach in the Gaming Pod says, I personally have no investment in the winner, but I'm in. All right. So it's going to be a sports carousel Sunday. If there is a game 7 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the San Antonio Spurs in Texas, I'm putting the headset on for it. Clark Goodlow says the old Texas 2-step. Absolutely. Let's make a cool collaboration happen one of these rainy days. Coach, you're on. You're on. Come be a part of the sports carousel. The sports machine will be repurposed because we used the sports machine when we did football all over the place. There was one weekend 3 years ago where we planned to do a triple header, and none of us could do it because we were all sicker than dogs. Victor, where'd you go?
You can't hear me?
He's separate.
Hello?
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah, I'm here.
Like I've been here.
I'm here. As I said, we had planned a triple header 3 years ago.
December 1st.
But we all woke up. Yep, December 1st, 2023. We all planned a triple header. Each of us had one call to do, but we couldn't for a very good reason. We were all sicker than dogs.
Everybody got sick.
And the game I had, oh,
it was Colts in the early game.
Colts are in the early window.
Then the mid game was,
I think it was Ravens, Eagles.
Yep, Eagles, Ravens.
Eagles and Ravens were in the middle window.
And then at the end, the nightcap was the 49ers game.
49ers game on Sunday night. Didn't do a thing. Because I called Victor and I said, ain't no way I'm making it to December 1st.
Body was like, nope.
My body said, nope. My body, how did Urinating Tree put it in one of his videos? My body acted out in protest.
Yeah, it's like, nope. I'm run ragged. I'm run out of nothing. I need rest.
I was forced to rest. And my beauty forced me to rest also. Coach of the Gaming Pod, I had both Minnesota Wild plus the Pistons, and they both collapsed. Yeah, the Minnesota Wild got beaten 5 games. The Pistons are still alive.
Yeah.
But they need to stomp a mud hole in Cleveland's ass on Friday.
And you know, Mr. Bay is watching as well. He's waiting for he wants the Cavaliers to finish this off.
I don't think they will. I do not think the Cleveland Cavaliers will win on Friday. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as to say they'll get blown to smithereens. Links and Wings tonight, 8 p.m. And it's on Prime Video. Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dear. Last night in the W, the world champion Aces beat up the Connecticut Sun 98-69 in what's turning out to be the swan song for the Connecticut Sun as they are moving to Houston next year. Sky beat the Valkyries 69-63 in California. Fever also pick up a win in California, 87-78 over the Sparks. And the Toronto Tempo get their first ever franchise win as they beat the Seattle Storm by a final of 86-73. On the docket tonight at 8 p.m., the Lynx and the Wings from Dallas. And at 10 p.m., it's the New York Liberty and the Portland Fire. The Fire got their first win of the year. So I may take a long nap and put the headset on for both of those. We'll talk hockey. We'll talk more NFL on this Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Welcome to Coach and the Gaming Pod. Please spread the word about what we're doing. And if you all like what you see and what you hear, do us a favor and help us continue to grow. You can do it this way with a donation to gofund.me/Snowman's Road to Recovery, or you can make it immediate. Help the Snowman and his family via Cash App, $Tallman Dr. K 50, or you can drop us a super chat. That helps out as well. Second half of Snowman in the Morning continues. Wait, let me do this Johnny Olsen style. Stay tuned for more shenanigans and more fabulous games to talk about on the second half of Snowman in the Morning. In a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete, 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 delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
From the hills of Santa Clara to the legacy of the stick, this is where red runs deep and greatness wears gold. 40 plus years of fan, 30 years in the booth, and now it's personal. The 49ers like you've never heard them before. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Hosted by Brian Snow, each week you will get a recap of the game that just happened and the game that will happen. All the stats, facts, and figures, all the fun notes, fan chats, and everything else you could put into 30 minutes. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Cause we take this job so serious.
What are we doing?
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Okay, I got to admit, when that 49ers commercial was running, I was crying because I saw my dad.
I remember that.
You know, and I talked about my dad last night. Before we go any further, Victor, take us to the ID.
It is 5 past the hour, and we owe you an ID. This is Snowman in the Morning.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
Broadcasting live in your region, across our nation, and around the world, this is Snowman Multimedia.
To all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters.
Well, that game sucked.
I am cute.
The is that?
You tripping.
Who told this lie?
Shut up.
Gerald Jones has no brains. His football acumen is the same capacity as Gun Run's moral capacity.
There you go. That's the one I've been looking for. Coaching the Gang Pod. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, please do. They have the sports movies draft being released. That's at 6:30 Eastern time tonight. So check them out. That's the Coach and the Gang Pod. Speaking of the gang, part of the gang is now here. I'm sorry I sound so bad. What? I moved to the game.
No.
I swear I'm going to tear this truck up one of these times. I'm going to tear this truck up and just put it back together the way I need to put it back together. I thought I moved it. Hold on. Live. I did move it. Somebody's waiting for us. Let's get Totally Deets for the second hour.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deets.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Deets is here with us on a Thursday. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
What's going on, guys? Man, it's been a long year this week.
Right. You are correct.
That's all I'm doing. But no, good to be here. What's going on? We got the schedule drop tonight, I think.
Yep, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is the schedule drop. And speaking of schedule, Deets, for the time being, I'm going to move you to Thursdays. I'm going to give you your regular spot back, which was Thursday's second hour, because I know you're still dealing with the equipment issues. But once we get everything solvent for you, you will be a regular part of the panel. All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we'll keep that. Also, you'll join us Fridays for the picks. You'll join us Thursday and Friday. You'll join us Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday is good because
good.
Like I said, I'm off Thursdays, so I'll have Thursday night, and then Friday morning I can get up and get the show in. So
okay, good.
It's all good.
Good. All right. Schedule release is tonight. We talked about some of the games earlier, including, and I can't believe I'm going to repeat this, a Thanksgiving Eve game.
Right.
If y'all can see on Deets' face right now.
Two words went through Deets' mind. Jesus Christ.
This is completely stupid.
It is.
Completely stupid. And it's stupid for every reason. For any reason. Do y'all know the biggest night, the biggest bar night of the year?
It's probably Thanksgiving Eve. Or even
it's the day before. It's the night before Thanksgiving because everybody's home from college.
Yep.
Everybody's home from college, so they get together and they go out. Nobody's sitting around a television.
No.
Watching a football game. Everybody's going out there. That's when most high school reunions are. Most, like I said, everybody from college is back home. They're not going out watching a game. They're going out to meet their friends. They're going out to do whatever it is that they're doing. But so from a marketing standpoint, it's a dumb idea because a lot of your audience is going to be doing family stuff. They're going to be meeting up with old high school friends. They're going to be meeting up with alumni from whatever. So there's no market for it.
If they're going to
the second thing, which is absolutely dumb, and I've said this my whole life. The greatest moments I have ever had playing football was high school on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
Yep.
There was nothing better than waking up on Thanksgiving Day and going down to Notre Dame High School and go eat and traveling. Well, we always had to travel because Hamden had the turf field. Now that both schools have turf fields, they flip flop it back and forth. But there was nothing better than getting up, going to Notre Dame, traveling over to Hamden High School, and playing the Hamden Dragons every Thanksgiving at 10:30 in the morning. We would play Hamden High School, and it was rivalry. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started coaching, and for coaching, it was the Guilford Indians versus the Madison Tigers, and we had one Thanksgiving game, and that Thanksgiving Day game, it was awesome. And then the next year, they decided, you know what? Let's play this Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Well, because nobody wants to play on Thanksgiving. And I was like, you are robbing these kids of the greatness that is Thanksgiving morning playing the best game of their life. The seniors get their senior day. Thanksgiving Day football was the greatest thing ever. And when one school did it here, every high school plays their game Wednesday night. So if you're going to put an NFL game on, you're taking away from every single high school that every single high school is going to be out watching their high school game. Mm-hmm. So if this, I mean, I don't know how they do it in other states. Like I said, I don't know how they do. I know most states do a Thanksgiving game. Mm-hmm. Most of them do it the night before. Nobody, I'll tell you right now, NFL, if there's Texas high school football, ain't nobody watching. Ain't nobody in the state of Texas. Ain't nobody in the towns that are playing on Wednesday night. Ain't nobody watching. They're not going to watch NFL football over Texas high school football. It's not going to happen.
The other thing is, like, again, most of the people are waiting for Thanksgiving to be that, because when I was down in Berwyn, Snowman can attest to it. We would eat our food. We had a bunch of people that were in our neighborhood. They would go across the street from Pershing, big field, throw the football around, start playing a football game.
Mm-hmm.
That was every single year.
We did it on the south side as well. Every year.
There's no way you tell me that there is a strong enough market for the random Wednesday before Thanksgiving, when everyone's going to be preparing to grab food, people are shopping to get food,
people are drinking,
people are in transit going from wherever they came from to wherever the meeting place is, if they're going to spend a night. No one is really, and no one's really going to have time. No one's really has time to actually watch a game on Wednesday when they're really waiting for Thursday.
You know what we did?
Football game.
You know what the guys did for me when I came home from college in 1990. I got home that Wednesday. My parents were waiting for me, and then one of my good buddies scooped me up from the house, and they fed me. They got me drunk, and we played football.
My question is, who is this for? Who is this for?
We got so. I gotta tell y'all this story. Thanksgiving Eve, 1990. A few friends came and picked me up from the house, and that was one of the first times at home in Chicago I got totally smashed. They fed me McDonald's. I still don't know what the hell they gave. Yes, I do. Victor, you may recognize this. Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what that is.
Combine Mad Dog 2020 with a little Boone's Farm, and I'm trying to run routes playing football.
Oh, God. No.
Drunk off my ass. Yeah, Pizzle, thank you. Oh, God. Because I thought they were just going to do that and then bring me back home. Nope. We went and found a park. We went and found a park, and we were playing football for the bulk of the night.
Now trying to run a curl drag. You're like,
look. They stuck me on the offense. They stuck me on the offensive line. They said, "Beat these people up."
Okay, good.
They stuck me. They stuck me on the offensive line. They said, "Beat these people up." So I did. I had no problem. Well, listen, even when I was drunk, I had no problem going forward.
Right.
Okay? I had no problem going forward.
Well, if you'll fall for it.
But I'm gonna make Dietz laugh when I say this. They decided to put me at tight end for the final play, and they told me to run a slant. Oops. I tried to run a slant and went splat right in the middle of the field. And then we all said, okay.
Worst wrestling, a slant, a corner, and a curl. You will fall. You will fall.
They told me to run a slant, and we were just BSing around. They said, Snowman, run a slant. Last play of the game before we go home. I tried to run a slant and went splat right in the middle of the snow.
Right
in the field.
We still to this day. So when I was in college, after I graduated high school, obviously first year of college, coming back, we all got together for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. We all got together for Thanksgiving, and what did we do? We called each other up and said, "Hey, come on out to the field. We'll play our own Thanksgiving game." And we started playing. That was my freshman year of college. We have played every single year since then. Morning of Thanksgiving, we get together, and I'm now 43 years old, and we've been doing this every year. And I got my shirt. I got my, we have jerseys now. We have shirts now. We call it the Tom Capone Classic for my boy Tommy, who used to play with us, and since passed away. But we play for him. We do it as a scholarship fund, and we have a charity set up in his name. So we still get together and play every single Thanksgiving morning. So I mean, I can tell you so many stories. One year we're like, all right, we're just gonna keep playing. You know how long we played for? We played till the ambulance showed up. Yeah, because the first we played until one of my friends broke his ankle. And the ambulance had to show up, and then we're like, all right, we're done with that, and then we kept playing. But then the game I truly remember though was I think it was our 5 year. It was either our 5 or 10 year. We had a high school reunion the day before, and they bought out so for the reunion they bought out a bar. Now, this is an interesting story because, as I've said, I went to Notre Dame. I didn't go to Guilford High School. But somehow I got the invitation to the Guilford High School reunion. And I was good friends with the girl who was running it, and I was like, "Ashley, you sent me an invite to this thing. I didn't graduate with y'all." And she was like, "You didn't?" She's like, because I went to middle school with them. I went to school with them all the way up through middle school and then left. And they were like, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Just show up anyway." So I was like, "All right, I'm in." So I went to the reunion. And I just showed up, And I was like, all right, whatever. And so me and all my friends are there, and all my friends that I get together with every year are there. And I'm like, and we're meeting, we're talking, and we get to the field, and they're like, and kids are like, all right, it's 05 versus. So it was just us. It was just all the people from the 11. It was all the people from my class that were there. We were all on the same team. And then there were all these young kids that were there. All the kids that graduated after us, all these kids, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna wipe the floor with you." Yeah, 5. We're just doing score by score. It was like, all right, we're not gonna count points. It was 5-0 touchdown. It was 5-0 touchdown. Still, they said, all right, we need to switch these teams up. we smoked them off the field. And they're like, how are you guys doing this? And I was like, you guys do know we were drinking till about 4 a.m. last night, right? Right. I was like half of our team doesn't even know we're here right now.
Okay, so this is not a Thanksgiving Eve story, but this is a football story. We used to have this thing at the South called a walkathon, but they actually call it like a sports day, basically. So it was a way to kind of raise money for the Super Bowl, and you can go out instead of being in class, you can go out in the track. So
yes,
I had a crush on. She was walking with my brother because they was actually had my brother's school and our school working together. I'm playing football. We get to a tie game, and they're asking me to run a flag route. Now, I don't know how, but I knew how to do it. I said, fine, I'll do it. So they hike the ball. I do the flag route perfectly. I'm open for about 3 seconds. I catch the ball. I jump in the air, catch the ball. What I did not expect as I pulled it in was for one of my friends to hit me in the shoulder, and the other one to hit me in the legs on the opposite side of me. I helicoptered for about 2 seconds and hit the ground.
But that's the way our game started as, all right, we're gonna play. When we were young bucks, we're like, yeah, we'll do old school tackle football,
right?
And that's the way we played it. Then we started getting older. And we're like, you know what? One of my friends was like, "Oh, I have access to flags. We'll just make it flag football."
Right.
Flag football never became flag. We never played flag football because it just turned into tackle. No matter what, nobody was grabbing flags. Everybody was just tackling each other still. So we're like, all right, let's turn it to 2-hand touch. We've tried doing touch. We tried doing everything. It just evolves into tackle football. Eventually, it just becomes tackle football.
Every single time.
Here's a story for you.
Before you go. So I'm on the ground, and the girl I was talking about, Brian knows what I'm talking about. She came flying from the track because she saw me land. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't know. Did we score the touchdown? Yes or no?" That's what I care about.
Yeah, exactly. No. If you scored, you're okay. If you didn't score, yeah, I'm hurt.
I got to tell y'all this one. When I was at Northeast Missouri State for my freshman year, there was one Saturday where the Pizza Hut that they had was nearby. And I was in the mood for pizza. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get me a small pizza.
Okay.
I ordered a small pizza. They delivered it. I ate the whole damn thing.
Right.
I ate the whole thing. Then one of my friends knocks on my door and says, Snow, come down and play football with us. The field was muddy. It was snowing. Screw it. I went down and played a full game, 3 hours. They had me run a slant, and I wasn't drunk this time. Somehow I snatched I snatched it out of the air. They called it the game winner. We all went back to our rooms, and I ordered another pizza and killed it. That will be forever known as the Pizza Hut game. We got a break. When y'all come back, more football stories, more football stuff, and there may be a droid waiting for us. Good Lord. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
'Cause we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not,
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
That shocked me. That completely shocked me.
So,
how do you think I feel? There's a droid waiting for us.
Okay, I want you guys to kind of if you guys have responses for Damien. He's saying that they're having game on Wednesday is a smart idea because there are some people who don't have families, don't get along with their families, rather spend it alone. Plus, some people don't celebrate the holidays. So, to him, it's a smart. It's kind of smart.
That is a very, very, very niche market. It just is, and all data says that. All data says it. Like I said, prefacing to open that statement, the largest bar night of the year is the night before Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving.
It has been for 30 years. For 30 years, it's been the largest night that people go out and celebrate, and people are out and about, and even people. Oh, we don't have families. Like I said, people are out. That is usually reunion night. That is the night most. And my brother celebrates his high school reunion. I told you I've been to Guilford's high school reunion. My Notre Dame high school class, we have not celebrated our reunion ever. I don't think we've ever celebrated a reunion. But my brother's class does every year. Every year they celebrate. They don't just do like a 25 or they were on their 25th I think last year, but they celebrate it every year. Every year I see a lot of those guys out that night. So it's like. So even if it's not about family, even if it's not about that, like I said, you've got all of that. Like I said, you've got high school football games going on that night. So you're missing a lot of your audience is going to be watching high school football games, whether it's my kids are playing in the game or it's usually, the way we do it here in Connecticut, that's the rival. That is your rivalry. That's your rivalry game. So most of your town rivalries are playing that day. So everybody's going to be out doing something. Nobody's going to be huddled around a television watching the game. And
I got a question. Up in Connecticut, when do you all have your state championship games and where are they played?
Our state championships are we have 3 weeks of playoffs. We used to have just 2. We used to have just a playoff and then a championship. Now they have a couple rounds, but it starts. So Thursday is the end of the season. So Thanksgiving is the end of the season. Mm-hmm. You get that weekend. The following weekend is the first round of the playoffs.
All right.
The next weekend's the second round, and then the championship game is the next.
Where is it usually? Where are the championships usually held?
They do them at 2 different spots. Some of them are at Reichler Field, which is where UConn plays. Mm-hmm. But most of the games are at Southern Connecticut State University.
Okay.
Right.
So that's right here in New Haven, where most of the teams are. So they do them there.
Well, here's my thing with the whole Thanksgiving Eve football game. It doesn't really make sense to me because, again, you already have it established for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to take consideration the NBA is already going.
Yeah.
The NBA is already going, and actually,
the NFL's not worried about going up against anybody else. Nobody's worried. They're not worried. They're not worried about anybody else. They're not worried about anybody else.
What I'm saying is it's already established that the NBA is already going. So you're probably going to watch that unless it's like a monumental game in the NFL, you're going to be watching NBA. Not to mention, if you really want to torture yourself.
Wait, who watches the NBA anymore?
Yeah, nobody watches. Nobody watches the NBA regularly.
Any other sport in November, it's going to be hockey.
It could be hockey too.
Mm-hmm.
No, and like I said, the NFL ain't worried about going up against any other sport. They're going to conquer any other. You put an NFL game on against any other sport, the NFL is going to dominate it. It's not even close.
Obvious. Okay.
They're not worried. They're not worried about optics. They're not worried about optics like that. I mean, look at Thanksgiving for years. How long on Fifth Down Sports did we say pretenders, contenders,
and the Detroit Lions,
and the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions play every Thanksgiving at noon, and the game is wild, and the game is wildly watched at noon on Thanksgiving, and Detroit was failure for years.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, the NFL ain't worried about that. What I'm more worried about, and what I would be more worried about if I was in the NFL office is you play that game. You play that game Wednesday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? There's no sports shows on Thanksgiving. There's no sports shows on Thanksgiving morning to talk about it.
No,
so nobody's going to talk. So nobody's going to cover it. Nobody's going to cover it the next night. Nobody's going to cover it the next night.
Well, the thing is, you're mostly
usually people like let's just throw it out there. So First Take, okay, which is what everybody cares about. First Take, they don't come back till Monday.
Right.
Yeah, so that game ain't getting covered because you've got 3 games on Thursday. So even if they do a mock show on that Friday, they're going to be talking about the 3 games on Thursday. They're not going to be talking about the Thanksgiving Eve game. They're going to be talking about the other games that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be talking about the games that are just played and the games that are coming up that weekend. And so it's not getting covered till Monday anyway. So it's that's why it makes no sense. That's why it makes no sense to me.
There's no post game coverage for it on Thanksgiving Day because everyone's concentrating on the 3 games on Thanksgiving Day.
And then again, possibly you have a Black Friday game too.
Well, we all know what the Black Friday game is. You know what? Since they premiered the Black Friday game, I have not watched one of them yet.
I did watch the last. I watched the one with the Bears and the Eagles. I watched that one.
Well,
that was last year.
Yep.
I did watch that. I did watch that one. I did see that one.
Man, it starts to crash.
Well, I think we're gonna start. I think we're just gonna start calling it instead of Black Friday. We'll just call it Eagle Friday. The Eagles have been in it both times, right?
No,
they've done it twice. They've done it twice, and the Eagles have been on it both times. There's one I think was Eagles Packers.
Let me see. I'm gonna
the other one of the I think the very first Black Friday game, if memory serves me correct, was Dolphins Jets from the Meadowlands.
Also, what you really need to realize come like late November is like people don't just watch really any NFL game. Of course, people have their favorite teams. But if you have a game on like the Arizona Cardinals facing the Cleveland Browns, nobody's watching that.
Right.
The only people watching are going to be people who have Arizona Cardinals and Cleveland Browns on their fantasy team.
Yeah,
like that's it.
Or that was.
Those are the only people that are even going to keep an eye on it. But no, nobody's sitting down. Nobody's sitting down going, man, let's watch that Arizona Cleveland game. Let's get the chips ready.
People watching an Arizona Cardinals game is for their tight end in fantasy and Jeremiah Love in fantasy. That's it.
Yeah. Jeremiah a lot in fantasy football, and yes, I'm going to bite the bullet and say we're going to do a fantasy football league here on Snowman in the Morning.
Pizzle, no more David Njoku in Cleveland. There's nobody on Cleveland in the draft in fantasy, so.
Not even there's an obvious joke there, but I won't make it. Pizzle says I'm correct. It was 2022 where the first Black Friday game was played in the Meadowlands, and it was Jets and Dolphins, where the Jets tried a Hail Mary and it turned into a Fail Mary, and it also turned into a 99-yard touchdown return on an interception for the Miami Dolphins.
The thing I find really interesting is that I love the NHL because they actually plan their games ahead. They put the good games on the weekdays and they put the bad games on the weekends. And I understand it's a little frustrating when you get home from a long work weekend and you're a hockey guy and none of the good games are on the weekends. But let's be fair. Even if you're a hockey guy, you're going to be like, oh, my Chargers are playing? Sick. And you're going to watch the LA Chargers if you're a Chargers fan. Or if even if your team is terrible like the Giants, you're going to be like, oh, the Giants are playing this weekend? I'm going to watch the Giants. You're not going to watch the Rangers. You're not going to watch the Islanders. You're not going to watch the Devils because chances are it's going to be a 1:00 game playing the Ottawa Senators.
Right.
The Ottawa Senators, dear Lord.
Well, because they're smart. They know not to go up against football.
Well, the NBA is the complete opposite.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing about Wednesday, about the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. What is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? That's the Egg Bowl. Everybody in Mississippi is going to be watching the Egg Bowl. So you have that state out. You have Texas high school football out. You're missing out on all of these things because nobody is going to care. Nobody's going to care about that. That's rivalry week for college football, which for us old school guys back in the day, Thanksgiving and Black Friday was Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Okay.
And it was Nebraska, Colorado.
Colorado.
That have gone on since they established it in 2023 for Black Friday. Miami and the Jets was in 2023. Kansas City and the Raiders was 2024.
That's where Mahomes. That's where Mahomes threw back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, and then last year, Bears and Eagles.
All right.
I'm noticing.
Right, so I was wrong about that, but I know I remember. I think maybe it was last year when they did. And it wasn't last year. I know it was like I know the Eagles have played 2 games on Fridays, which was very strange. But it was for like 2 years in a row they had a Friday game, and I was like, what are we doing? Why are the Eagles playing Friday again?
That on Black Friday, it's interconference games because Bears, Eagles, NFC, Miami, New York, interconference, AFC, and then, of course, Chiefs, Raiders, interconference, AFC.
But that was the only division game. No, take that back. Dolphins and Jets was a division game.
No.
Chiefs and Raiders was a division game. The only interconference game or interdivision game was Bears Eagles. Bears from the Central, Eagles from the East.
But the thing is, I've also noticed that the NBA tries to also put on shoes that are a little bit too big for them. They wear size 9s. They're trying to put on size 15s when it comes to trying to compete with the NFL because they will put they'll put rivalry games like Clippers, Lakers. I don't remember the Bulls rivalries that much, but I'm pretty sure the Bulls are rivals with the Pistons. They'll
Cleveland.
put Rockets, Mavericks on like Sunday on a Sunday night slot, and they'll be like, "Why is nobody watching these? These are like the biggest games." Well, maybe if you didn't try to compete with Eagles, Cowboys Sunday night football, you would actually get some numbers,
right?
I mean, but you remember, LeBron did say Christmas Day is the NBA day, so
no longer is because now the NFL is playing.
Not anymore.
Yeah, any day the NFL any day the NFL has it's automatically taken over, and we've seen that. We've like I said, we've seen that with the NFL taking over. There are Saturdays that they take over.
Yeah,
and college football rightfully just get out of the way, and you have to get out of the way, and it's like we've talked about. I mean, we've talked about it. The NFL is built for gambling. It's built for fantasy teams. It's built around people that are invested in the game in the NFL season. So that's why you can't compete with the NFL. I mean, you cannot compete with the NFL because even like Droid said, I'll use Droid's example of Arizona, Cleveland. Even Arizona, Cleveland, there are people that are not Arizona Cardinals fans and not Cleveland fans. There are people that are invested in that game, whether it's because they got betting slips on it, because they put money down on the game, because they're in a King of the Hill that weekend, and that's one of the games they had to pick, or their fantasy guys are on the field. They took Arizona's defense, they took Cleveland's defense because Myles Garrett, is getting them sacks every game. There's no way for the NBA to compete with it, and none of these sports are going to be able to compete because the NFL is once a week. And it's like Droid said, with hockey, yeah, if you play on a weekend game, you've got 2 other games either coming up next week or 2 games that you've already watched that week. So that weekend game of hockey, yeah, I missed that hockey game. Well, I got 2 more coming up next week. It doesn't make a big deal if I miss it. If you miss an NFL game, that's 1 out of 17 that you ain't gonna watch.
And
you don't have 82 more. You don't have 82 more coming down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you bring up that point. People forget like how short not only just the NFL season, but also the college football season is. You only get a certain amount of weeks a year to watch your team. And unless you're like in Ohio State and Oregon, you're only usually watching your team 12 times a year in college football. And if your team isn't like a Buffalo Bills, recently Denver Broncos, New England Patriots, that's just some AFC teams to name. Philadelphia Eagles, if you're not one of those teams, you're only watching your team 17, maybe even if you're lucky, you get an extra game in there the next time they run through because they want to keep extending the schedule 18 times a year. And, you got to.
And then break that down even further, Droid. You only have 17 games. You may have nine home games, so you only have 9 chances to go to the stadium and tailgate and celebrate all day with your. You only have 9 of those chances, whereas an NBA team, 82 games, so you have 40. You have 40 home games. You have 40 home games that you can go to. College, you only have 5. You only have 5 or 6 home games that you can go to and tailgate and make a whole day out of it. Rather than some of these sports where if you miss a home game, oh well, there's 39 more of these things.
Yes, there are more. Damian Hernandez has a question. Y'all don't think the NFL is competing with the CFL or UFL? Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. And one of the points I'll bring up is televised. The UFL, the only thing it's got right now is a little bit of television on there. They don't get as much attention on television. So, let's say there was a big NHL game coming up, right? Big NHL preseason game, and they wanted to broadcast it. But there's also a UFL game that day. Who do you think gets beat, the NHL or the UFL? It's going to be the UFL getting beat because people care more about the NHL. Because the thing is with these spring leagues, they don't make it to where you can care.
Yeah, they don't people do not care about the UFL. Name a team that anyone is a fan of the UFL.
Well,
I can say I'm a fan of the St. Louis Battlehawks, but that's just because they're pretty local to me.
Right.
Yeah.
But have I watched the Battlehawks game this year? No. I didn't even know that
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. And the CFL has a little bit more of history, than the UFL and what? It's not. There's no more XFL, right? That combined with the UFL, right? But here's the thing, and I remember this because I went out. I think it was Easter breakfast. We went out and they had a replay of one of the games. I didn't even know the season was happening. I didn't even know there was a game on, and they had a replay of the game, and I'm watching it, and I'm looking at all the guys that are in there, and until they are a pipeline for, hey, this guy, guy that makes it to the NFL. I was looking at it and they're like, oh, some guy caught 3 touchdowns, and they were like, yeah, he's a practice squad guy for the Patriots. And I was like, okay, until they have a guy that transcends one of those leagues and is actually goes to the NFL and is a star, a Tommy Maddox, Doug Flutie from way back in the day, Warren Moon from way back in the day. Until they have somebody who comes up and is able to cross over and say, see, we got this guy out of the UFL. I mean, Kurt Warner from Arena. You could go all the way back, but until they have that, nobody cares. Nobody's going to care about these things until they have that breakthrough star.
The only breakthrough star, and I agree with you, Deeds. The only breakthrough star that I know of from the current UFL that has made it to the NFL and has made a difference is Gavante Turpin, who's currently with the Dallas Cowboys.
That's true. He played, I believe, with the Michigan Stallions. I believe he played for Michigan.
Michigan Panthers.
Actually, no,
But
that definitely wasn't it. It was a red team. I know that.
Birmingham Stallions.
One of like 3 red teams. But I wish we could have treated the UFL as like a minor league. So like where like
that's what they need to do.
Like
That's what
where
they need to
teams
do.
were associated with these set of teams. Like let's say the St. Louis Battlehawks was partnered with the Bears, the Chiefs, basically everyone in that central area. And, you know, if a player goes down with injury, they don't have a guy that can come in. They can call up St. Louis and be like, hey, can we borrow you a quarterback?
The one star in the UFL that I want to see make it to an I cannot think of, he's a St. Louis Battlehawk, and I am blanking on his name. Big wide receiver, about 6'6". He wears number 88 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. All right. Here's some live research right here. But he's a big time receiver for the Battlehawks.
Hakeem Butler?
That's him. Thank you. Hakeem Butler.
I mean, he's a good player, but in my opinion, he's not even close to NFL caliber.
You don't think so?
No, I believe he is way far away from being NFL caliber. Like, he's a good wide receiver. He's been doing well with the, like, let's put it very lightly, terrible quarterback that the St. Louis Battlehawks have.
Agreed.
Dude's throwing meatballs. And I mean, I even think, you know, I would argue that, what's his name? Drew Aller is a better quarterback than the St. Louis Battlehawks current quarterback. And that says a lot about that St. Louis quarterback.
I'll make this obvious joke, but George's the
and
same guy who said that
Louis
Cleveland wasn't a good receiver, and then he ended up catching a game winner against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm. And that quarterback for the St. Louis Battlehawks, I believe, is one Luis Perez.
I think Perez is out with an injury. It's somebody else.
Love you.
But there, I mean, we're talking about like when to play. Like, nobody cares because we're getting into summer, and so everybody knows summer is baseball. And I know certain people in North Carolina are not going to like this, but baseball dominates the summer. It just does. It just does. And especially here in the Northeast, where they care about where baseball fans care about baseball 365 days a year. You can always get a baseball fan to talk about Yankees Red Sox, no matter what. Doesn't matter. No matter what day it is, they'll talk Yankees Red Sox every single day.
Still time. Yeah.
So when you're playing these games, when you're playing UFL games on the weekend in the summer, no one up here cares because when the Yankees are playing, when the Yankees are good, people are watching the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
When the Mets are losing 13 games in a row, people are watching the Mets for the train wreck that they are. Like, that's just what people are doing up here.
Hey, Snowman, you
They,
missed.
they don't. They're not watching football.
Nobody cares about baseball.
Baseball?
Bitch, you for real?
Right.
Man, it's also the same thing over here in Kansas City. It doesn't really matter if our Royals are good or bad. We're gonna watch them during the summer. And
Yep.
with the lack of you know how in England, Germany, Spain, they got these soccer giants, basically big soccer leagues that they can watch during the summer. While we have the MLS, which is so terrible. And the thing is, they're competing with the USL, the United Soccer League. And the USL is threatening the MLS because they're threatening to make a Premier League for the USL and officially implement the pyramid that England, Germany, Spain, France, Italy all have with relegation. And USL is under contract with ESPN, which means every game is going to be televised.
Right.
So once maybe once that happens, maybe once it gets a little bit more traction, then maybe Kansas City will be watching a little bit more soccer. But the Northeast, and more specifically in Dietz area, it's all baseball. It's never going to be anything else but baseball. Up in the Northeast.
I mean, Chicago's the same way. I mean, you could have both the Sox and the Cubs being in the dumpster. We're still going to watch the Sox and the Cubs play.
Just for bragging rights.
Just for bragging rights.
Just for bragging rights.
Just the Cubs won last night. Well, the Sox won by 10.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the Crosstown Cup. Does it mean anything? Not really, but
not really. No.
There.
If it ain't the commissioner's trophy, then we don't care.
Right. Well, some people do.
Well, I also really wanted to ask Dietz, what can the UFL do to even become a name mentioned in spring/summer sports?
They can't until they get players, and that's the only thing that they can have is the thing that they could do, and you talked about it, is if it were a pipeline to the NFL where and they don't have enough teams for every team to be affiliated.
Right.
But if you started to get regional and regions of, hey, these three teams, all players from these three practice squads are on, the St. Louis Battlehawks have Tennessee. I'm just trying to think of people who are there. Tennessee, Kansas City, and somebody else. All their practice squad players are part of that team, and that way you have NFL connected fan bases where fan bases can say, oh, that guy's in our locker room. Hey, I liked the way that guy played. Let's give him a shot. Let's give him a shot at training camp. Let's give him a shot at being on the field next year. If one of our big time guys goes down and we need a guy, we can plug that guy in. That would be the only way. Would be the affiliation. They would have to be affiliated with a professional, with an NFL team and an NFL roster. But until you get guys breaking through that are coming, the NFL is going to be like, well, we don't need y'all. We don't need y'all until you can make an impact for us. And that's a problem.
Damian Hernandez, our final comment of the day, says, Droid, you say people watch the Royals, whether they're good or bad. And it's true. I visited Kansas City. My question is, when was the last time the Royals were ever good? And yes, that's a shot. I'll answer that for you. 2015.
And they win the World Series.
Don't answer that for me. You know why? Because we were good a couple of years ago when we went to the actual playoffs. We made the playoffs and faced Baltimore, beat them in 3 games, and then went on to lose to the Yankees. We made the playoffs, and that's good enough for the city of Kansas City.
Yep.
They beat the Mets. Yep. They beat the Mets in the World. They beat the Mets in the World Series.
4-1. We got to get out of here. Deeds joins us every Thursday and Friday, so he'll join us tomorrow, especially when Deb Whitkus is here. Deeds, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
The show. $11:05 a.m. Eastern. We got to go. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are. We hope y'all are too. God bless you. We love you. So long, everybody. The commissioner tries to arrest the detective? That's tomorrow. See you later.